Hey, what's up, everybody? It's rock and roll comedian Don Jameson, That Metal Show, Rockstrap, International Spy, and Master Chef. You are hanging out with the hooligans, those YouTube guys.
This week on the Hooligan Nation, what happens when you put four Kiss tarts in one room to discuss the future of the greatest band in the world? Well, you're going to have to stick around to find out. Hey, look at it this way. You got
nothing to lose.
You wanted the best. Well, they retired. So you got two dudes in a garage.
Talking Kiss.
Welcome to the Hooligan Nation, a KISS-Centric Podcast, the podcast where the riffs are loud, but our opinions are louder. I'm Anthony.
I'm Rocco.
Yes, you are. You are the father. The father, Rocco.
Father Rocco.
Thank you. I needed that today. I need that like 10 times a day. What's up, hooligans?
What's going on, hooligans?
Well, we are back. Back in the Hooligan Nation groove. Like that one? I just came up with that. And this week, we have a very special roundtable type discussion with our friend Victor Ruiz from the Signals from Mars podcast and one of our hooligans, David from South Carolina, will be joining us to discuss the future of KISS. But before that, we have news, music we're listening to, and of course, our weekly poll. But first, last episode recap, an interview with That Metal Show legend and comedy and rock icon, Don Jameson. Father Rocco, do you have anything you'd like to add to that spectacular interview?
Yeah.
Good. Well, things are off to a very good start. You have something to say.
Yeah, you know what? One thing that I really appreciated and really liked, I hope he hears this when he watches it. Very few times in this world these days you meet somebody who's completely genuine. And he was a very genuine guy. I really enjoyed chatting with him. He's funny. Obviously, he's a comedian, but I mean, I felt really comfortable right from he kind of calmed us down, It's pretty much our first high-profile guest, and he was class personified, and he was a lot of fun to do the episode with.
Our first high-profile guest.
Yeah.
Pretty sure your sister's going to be pissed off at that statement. Pretty sure she thinks she's high-profile, but...
Well,
Yeah, I know. That's all right. I think Don was great. I did not expect to get on a Zoom and within 5 minutes before we even hit record, I felt like I knew him.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
And I really appreciate the fact that he made our jobs, I feel like he made our jobs 100 times easier by just being open to everything. So from my perspective, I greatly appreciate that almost as much as I appreciated the contents of the interview. And you know this because this is just the way it is with me. Since we interviewed him, I have come up with another 500 questions. I'm like, I almost want to like text him and go, hey, I blew this, but I got to know the answer to this. And I was like, no, you know what? Hopefully we can get him back on sometime.
Yeah, I think the other thing is I think I got the impression he enjoyed chatting with us too. Like, that I pushed the whole brotherhood thing to nauseam, like the whole Kiss cruise thing that's what I took most out of it. And I felt like I was back in the 80s again in high school talking to like friends that you know what I mean? He embraces our music and we all connect that way. And he's, one of the leaders of carrying it on. And I definitely am very grateful for him, Eddie Trunk, the three of them,
The nicest thing I can say about Don Jameson is he's real.
Yeah. I really gained an awful lot of respect for him. I'll be honest, I was nervous to interview him. But like you said, within the first couple minutes, we were talking to a buddy of ours.
Remember what I always say. Don't be scared.
Well,
Don't be
I'm
scared,
nervous.
Father
I
Rocco.
wasn't really scared. I was a little nervous because you want to be classy. We pride ourselves on being real and being we're not a clickbait type of channel. Any of that kind of stuff. We just want to keep it real and make it interesting and entertaining. You know.
It's a good thing you didn't say that word classy because I'm not sure that we qualify as classy.
I'm sure
I'm,
we
I'm,
try, but
I'm not. Oh, I'm sure we try. I know we try. I'm just not sure that we qualify as that word. News. You got any news?
I do. For you Striper fans out there, Michael Sweet it's come out. I don't know how long it's been out there, but he has cancer. It's called I'm going to say it. It's going to sound butchered, but it's papillary thyroid cancer. They found a nodule in the right thyroid. It came back positive and malignant. He remains still on schedule to start recording his new album, or the Striper's new album, and his doctor is very optimistic. And this is no surprise. He obviously has a very strong faith, which Father Rocco really respects, and he puts his faith and trust in God like he always has. So it looks like there's some positivity from his doctor on this on that note also.
You know, I think that we finally made it. We have
Hmm?
finally made it. You know
Because he has
how I
cancer.
know we finally made it?
How?
Because Father Rocco is using himself in the third person. And that is a sign that
Oh,
we have
geez.
made it.
Did I really do that? I didn't realize I
You
did that.
you did. You did do it, and you know I picked up on it. No, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a sign that we have made it. I mean, you're
I
gonna
don't know.
start. Yeah, I keep
I
telling you. I keep telling you that you are the star of this podcast.
who who?
Who? Yeah, you. You're the star. You roll in. You
Wait, wait,
say
wait,
what
wait,
you
wait. Am I
say.
am I the star or the bullseye or the target?
Oh, well, you're all of those things. Look, you offered your assistance to Don Jameson. Don Jameson's a comedian. You know what kind of assistance you can give him? You could stand up on stage and you could be the butt of all his jokes instead of being the butt of all my jokes. But I'm gonna tell you right now,
That doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
I have a jealousy trait and I will get jealous if you become the butt of all his jokes instead of mine. I just want you to know that.
I don't need to. I don't try to be the butt of anybody's jokes.
I know that's the best part. That's the best part is you actually don't try. Go ahead. I dare you to bring up something about a closet this week.
I'm not going there.
No,
I'm not
you
going
shouldn't.
there.
You should never say the word closet ever again, I think.
It'd be like you coming out and wearing a tutu.
No, but yeah, you stole my thunder. You were going to come out of the closet while wearing a tutu. Okay, so my news is we have finally got our stuff together, and our Ace Frehley tribute champagne glass contest is up and running. If you, all the hooligans, are interested in winning this extremely limited edition, you're going to love this, Father Rocco. I've been working on this. This extremely limited edition Kistory collector's piece. Go to thehooligannation.com and follow the instructions on our homepage. This contest will run until January 12th at 11:59 p.m. Good luck to all the hooligans that participate. Music we're listening to. You got anything?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I've been
Look at
listening.
Speaking of participation, I'm gonna have to send you over a participation trophy after this week's episode.
Nice. Well, this was I was having a lot of fun with this because I felt like I was listening to it for the first time because it's been a long time. Been listening to a lot of Metallica and Justice for All album. Very,
Oh.
very long songs, but the whole album is pretty good. I mean, like, almost all the songs I like, and it brings back memories because I don't know if you went with me to this concert, but I went to the Monsters of Rock concert and we had the worst seats in the house. We were sitting behind a speaker and then way up in the giant stadium, and there was a speaker blocking our view.
Oh.
But Metallica at the time, the album wasn't out yet, and they introduced Harvester of Sorrow. And I remember sitting there listening to this song, thinking it was the greatest thing since sliced bread because it has such a great intro. And I remember really loving that song. So It brought back memories listening to it. I'm still listening to it. They're long songs, but they're good songs.
My music that I'm listening to, I'm a little more up to date than you. I have been listening to the two new Guns N' Roses songs. Have you heard them?
I haven't heard them. I know the titles, but I haven't heard them yet. Are they good?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're not. They're not 1987, 1988 good, but the two new songs are Atlas and Nothing. I love the bass line in Atlas, and I actually love the keys in Nothing.
How's Axel's voice sound in it?
It sounds good, but it's in a studio, so.
Right.
But it does sound good. They're both slower songs, and I like both songs. They were good stuff.
Were you saying that? Were you saying to me were these songs that were kind of in their catalog, like not completely finished product, but somewhat worked on already?
Everything that they have put out since Duff and Slash have come back in the band are reworked songs from, I believe they're all reworked songs from Chinese Democracy.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, I don't know what the hooligans are going to think, but I think these two songs are the two best that they've put out. And I think they've put 5 or 6 songs out already, including these. They got a total of, I think, 5 or 6 songs that they've reworked, added Slash and Duff on the songs, and put the songs out.
And your verse on Chinese Democracy, was that a pretty decent album?
So Chinese Democracy, it's not a Guns N' Roses album. It's an Axl Rose album. I do like the title track. And there might be 2, 3, 4 more songs that I like. I can't tell you that they're all memorable, but I like them. I think Chinese
weird territories with it. It's not.
No, I don't think it's really weird territories. It just didn't help. It just didn't hit me in my special place.
No edge.
You know what I mean?
Not a lot of edge to it.
I think the title track, Chinese Democracy, I think is a great song. Edge, everything. I think it's a great song, and they still play it live.
We've talked about this before. It's such a shame because Guns N' Roses could have been one of the legendary bands of all time if they were able to stick together and continue trying to come close to. I mean, it's hard to even say that because they only did 3 albums. So I'm just saying that after the first album they came out with, there was so much potential there for them being a powerhouse.
I think they did 4 albums, but
no, but you know what I mean, right? Like they could have.
I won't hold you to your mathematics.
If they kind of stuck to the recipe of the first album, not necessarily carbon copy, but if they kind of stayed with that kind of like edginess.
Do you know what time it is?
It's poll time.
It's poll time in the neighborhood, the Hooligan Nation neighborhood. It is poll time. Our weekly polls can be found on our community tab and on our Facebook group. This week's question is, in your opinion, what is the worst KISS song ever recorded? Your choices, Father Rocco. There comes with bonus choices, too, because we had a lot of write-ins.
Okay.
Choice number 1, Read My Body off of Hot in the Shade. Choice number 2, I Finally Found My Way to You off of Psycho Circus. Choice number 3, Just a Boy, music from The Elder. Choice number 4, Odyssey, music from The Elder. And we had write-in votes of I Was Made for Loving You from Dynasty. What? Calm yourself. Heaven's on Fire from Animalize, and My Way from Crazy Nights. So, Father Rocco.
Wow, I'm a little surprised right now.
I knew that was coming. Father Rocco, what say you?
Just a Boy. I don't like his voice in that at all. That's a personal thing, personal preference for me. I don't like his voice in that song at all. That song, like, it just like you get the way you get with Rock and Roll Party. I kind of get with that song.
This one's pretty tight. Just so you know,
I'm just like, it's weird to me, and I respect the hooligans that put those write-ins. but Heavens and Fire was one of their biggest songs in the 80s. And I Was Made for Loving You is the most downloaded song ever on Spotify.
Well, just because it's the most downloaded song ever, don't mean that every hooligan
No,
likes
no,
it.
I respect that, but I have a feeling it has more to do with tired of hearing it. I bet you it
No,
has something to do with it.
I can tell you right now. I'm gonna find the actual post and I will read you.
And I mean, I definitely respect that take because I that's the thing I love most about Kiss, I think, is that so many people love different layers of this band.
The comment was made by Wamo Buo. Wamo Buo. I Was Made for Loving You is a bad song. To disco. Now, if somebody's gonna not like the song, I can understand his reasoning. If it's a he, I don't know if it's a he or she. I can understand their reasoning for that. If you don't like disco at all, it's Kiss's most famous, most disco song. And as far as Heaven's on Fire, this should not come as much of a shock to you, but it comes from Dan the Man. I hate Heaven's on Fire. Some of the other bad songs are so bad they are good. The oh, whoa, 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 woo throughout gives me headaches.
I love you, Dan the Man. Oh man, thank you. Thank you for I love that he engages the way he does. You have your own style and I love it.
Here's
Cheers.
to you, Dan the Man.
Yes. To you, Dan the Man.
If nothing else, we laugh.
Keep bringing it, brother. Keep bringing it.
Oh, does that mean you want to know the results? Oh, I got to ask you first.
Yes.
What do you think the hooligans said?
I am gonna say I had picked Just a Boy. I don't think everybody's gonna pick Just a Boy. I don't think Hot in the Shade is gonna. I don't think that song from Hot in the Shade. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Odyssey.
Are you?
Yeah,
Is that your final answer?
yeah, because I'm not a big fan of that song either.
Do you want to phone a friend or anything?
Nah, just shoot from the hip.
Okay, cool. You're wrong. Okay, first off, I Was Made for Loving You, Heaven's on Fire, and My Way only received 1 vote apiece, so I didn't include them in the percentages, but I do appreciate the guys that threw
Absolutely.
in write-in votes. Coming in with 10%, Odyssey. Coming in with 23%, Just a Boy. Coming in with 29%, I Finally Found My Way to You. And coming in with 33%, Read My Body. Not a shock to me.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
I'm a little-
I
I'm a little
voted
shocked.
I voted for Read My Body, and I'm pretty sure that my ears have told me that that is the worst Kiss song I ever heard.
So you're saying that you would have Just a Boy on your playlist?
No, but I have to tell you, Read My Body and I Finally Found My Way to You would be my second choice, would be I Finally Found My Way to You.
You know what else I don't like about Just a Boy?
I mean, we don't have that kind of time.
No, it's a quick one. I feel like it's an obvious parts in there that he's trying to sing a certain way and he can't make he doesn't do a good job of it. It's just my opinion. There may be people out there that love this song. I know there's a lot of fans of The Elder that, are tired of it getting shade thrown at it. But that song, that's like the one song specifically on that album that I can't stand where he goes vocally.
Well, I can't argue with that, but you should listen to Read My Body.
I haven't heard that in a long time. That probably plays into it too. I haven't listened to that in a long time. But you know what? There's a lot of songs on Hot in the Shade that could be up for contention because Hot in the Shade, there's a lot of songs I feel like we've talked about it. They have probably 6 songs too many on that album that are not complete. They're like it's a sloppy album in a lot of ways. Just my opinion.
That's a good word to use for that, actually. It's a sloppy album.
Thank you. Yeah.
That is a very good word to use, I think.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you to all the hooligans that voted. A new poll is up right now, so please, please, please vote. It is both your right and your responsibility as a hooligan to vote.
And I'll tell you, the new poll you have out, it's a good one, but it's a tough one.
They're supposed to be both good and tough, aren't they?
I found this one a little more tougher than normal.
Really? Yeah. All right. That must be I'm doing my job. You know what that means? That means that I'm doing a good enough job that maybe next week I can use myself in the third person.
I think you could probably pull that off. You can do it.
Battleborn is a collaborative effort among like-minded individuals and organizations intent on repairing and restoring people who have served our country. We do this by delivering a unique level of support and guidance to those servicemen and women who have emotional and psychological wounds. We provide support directly and indirectly in collaboration with others in our community who value those who have served this nation and its communities. For more information, go to wearebattleborn.com. Welcome back to the Hooligan Nation. We'd like to introduce Victor Ruiz from the Signals from Mars podcast and David, one of our subscribers from South Carolina. Victor, what do you got going on with Signals from Mars lately?
Recorded a bunch of interviews recently. Spoke to Danko Jones drummer Rich Knox. Spoke to Ufa from the Swedish thrash band Mesro. Spoke to Tony from the Jersey thrash band Condition Critical. And spoke to a bunch of people recently. This week we'll be recording an episode focusing on albums that were released in the last 2 months, and we're leading up to our big end of year countdown. So
David, for those of you that don't know, David is from South Carolina and is one of the subscribers to the Hooligan Nation, and he is also someone that we met in Las Vegas during the KISS cruise, Landlocked. So, David, can you give us a quick rundown of how you got on our screen?
Was just checking out podcasts talking about the event in Vegas. Started listening to you guys. You were covering it all the time. Sent you a message. We started talking. Now I'm here.
How'd you become a KISS fan?
Oh man, my mom bought me a discount, like $5 copy of Double Platinum for Easter when I was like 12. No, not even 12, probably 9.
Nice.
Hooked from then. Only one in my family with this disease. So thanks, Mom.
Nice.
That's good. All right. We're going to start this off by firing someone up. So do either one of you want to weigh in on the recent Gene Simmons statements in regards to Ace Frehley's death and how it occurred?
It's tasteless. How he could sit there and smile in front of cameras and pretend to miss Ace while he says things like that on TV or in interviews. It's pretty gross, dude. Not surprising, but gross.
I was a little surprised, actually, that he would go that far and go there. Victor?
yeah.
I love the sound of my own voice, and sometimes I get carried away.
There you
That
go.
sums it up
There you
perfectly.
go.
When I saw it, I was dumbfounded. I'm like, just what you said, Tony. Do we need to go there now? He's passed away. He's gone. Just leave him alone. You know, it doesn't make sense. And even some of the comments that Paul has made, even some of the things that he did at the cruise, some of the comments were just like, seriously, like, doesn't make sense. And I did a show remembering Ace, and one of the things that I talked about was the finality of everything. There's no turning back now, so any little pissing contest that they had, anything that could have happened now can no longer happen.
Right.
And they can only point at themselves and say, if our egos weren't so big, we should have come together and done something sooner.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think that they've painted themselves into a corner where they're in a no-win situation now, where anything that they say on this topic, unless it's positive, they're just going to get dumped on by all the fans.
And
And
Gene
it's
should know
just,
better.
yeah, they should know better. It doesn't make sense. And a lot of it, it's funny. I correlate it to coaching basketball and coaching girls, and there are certain people where you have to know how to address them, because um if you just take someone to task, there are certain people that will absorb it, they'll listen to it, and they'll try to improve. There are other people that will stare at you and will start laughing, because that's their kind of nervous reaction to the moment and what's taking place. And when I see comments like that, what Gene said, with Paul's kind of like cold way of approaching everything, to me, it seems like it's a reaction to them thinking, oh shit, we messed up. We should have done something different. We always thought there would have been one more chance, one more chance, one more chance. There are zero chances now. No matter how much money they have, no matter how big of a following they have, no matter what they do, there's no chance of them ever to do anything with Ace again. And I don't know if to a certain extent it's their coping mechanism, where they don't know what to say because they're put on the spot, and they're just so used to saying horrendous shit.
That's a good take,
For lack of
actually.
a better
That
term.
they're used to doing it. That's a good take.
They're used to doing it, but at the same time, they should know better at this point. And
I told him.
when
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, when I read his comments, I'm like, he fell down a flight of stairs twice.
I'm so disgusted with it because I'm a Gene guy and I defended it. I don't know if you watched it, or I know he remembers. I went off on a rant about all the shade that they were throwing at Gene and Paul. You know what?
Right.
They were together for so long, off and on. Regardless of the business shit, they obviously are hurting, and I feel embarrassed that I defended them.
Yeah, I think it's one of these things where they should know better.
Absolutely.
The problem is with the mechanics and the mechanisms that they've built up over the years, speaking a certain way, addressing things a certain way, having so many people around them that have done nothing but, yes, sir, you're right, sir. Yes. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's awesome. Nobody to say, hey, guys, maybe you should cut this shit out.
Right.
It seems like they don't have that, because then the machine would stop, or they would be asked to get off the train, per se. So they don't. I think they're still kind of in shock. I think they're still kicking themselves behind the scenes. And I think we're going to get a response in a little while with Gene saying, I was an idiot. I shouldn't have said that.
I hope so. I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah, something along those lines, because there have been other times where they've come out and they've said things where they've said, hey, we did the, with Eric Carr, for example. If you listen to the audio tracks of Kissology, they come out and say, hey, we should have handled this situation better, stuff like that. So they've copped to certain things over the years. I think a lot of what's happened these last few months, because even how they treated Bruce at the at the cruise
Really
was
weird.
It was
really
weird.
weird as well. So
Yeah, Paul said he didn't know he was coming out. How do you not know that?
Yeah, right.
To be fair, even when Bruce came out, it was weird on Bruce's end also. Like he
Off
stayed
to the
to a
side.
corner of the stage. Like he really, I don't want to say he looked like he didn't want to be there, but he kind of looked like he didn't want to be out there. Like
Did
there was a little bit of interaction between Gene and Bruce, but other than that, Bruce interacted with Eric and Tommy.
I didn't even
Much,
realize he was there till the last song.
yeah. Yeah,
Honestly,
I mean, I realized he was there only because of the people in the front of the
Yeah,
crowd.
the crowd started getting louder and louder. Yeah.
But he stayed on what is our left side of the stage, and just kind of, I mean, just how he came out. Like when he first came out, it seemed like it was a pre-planned thing for him just to kind of shuffle out. But then as it went on, first song, second song, it was like, man, this is weird. Like nobody's saying anything. He's staying over in the corner. It's almost like somebody went to Bruce 5 minutes before and said, "Hey, throw a guitar on. Like these people won't leave us alone if you don't come out on stage." And then just walked away from him. And I'm not saying that that happened, but that's kind of how it seemed to me. Like they didn't want him on there, and he didn't want to go on there, but
when
they
they had
were
to-
doing it.
And when they had the Q&A, that was the first thing they started out the Q&A by Paul making an apology to him.
Right.
right.
And
But that's how
I
they sold
look,
it to us.
Yeah.
You remember when they first started, pitching this, Bruce was going to play with them is how they sold it to us.
Yeah.
we're gonna do an entire Wednesday segment, Father Rocco and I, on this, so I'm gonna reserve most of my comments for that Wednesday segment. But I will say this: Gene Simmons has been in this business for over 50 years. All he had to do was say, "Hey, we miss him, we love him, and we wish he was here."
Yeah. Less is more.
That's it. That's all
But
he
this
had to
is
say, and be done with it.
this is a guy who still believes no publicity is bad publicity, though.
Well,
That's
you
true.
know what?
Well
In
said.
the social media age, that's dying.
I don't expect any of the three of you to be the kind of tart that I am, but I spent today reading the autopsy report. It's a pretty good read. Gene should read it. The toxicology hasn't come back yet, but the medical examiner's report is out there and is on the internet, and it could not get any more clearer than it was.
The thing that makes it sad is I was really looking forward to this because KISS has always been the band who's been shunned. And the Kennedy Honors were going to be such a respectful, good thing for the band. And Gene shit all over that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty
Truthfully.
much the way it is. But on a happier note, or maybe not a happier note, let's get into this discussion on the future of KISS. And I think every discussion about the future of KISS has to start with the avatars. So, what is everyone's thoughts on the avatars and KISS going forward in an avatar kind of state?
Strictly from a like my kids aren't old enough to go to the shows really with me. That's exciting to take them to some kind of KISS experience. Clearly, it's not going to be the same, but hopefully they'll have some sort of love for the band from that. I don't know how much someone can love something like that, to be honest with you, unless you're a diehard. I don't really see the market for that like they have with ABBA, for example.
So you think you got to be more of a diehard KISS fan? I mean, ABBA, from what I know, ABBA's Avatar thing is doing very well, and it's like sold out for the next 3 or 5 years.
That's what I'm saying, though. They have the appeal.
You think ABBA has more appeal than KISS?
100%, if we're all being honest with ourselves. 100%. Who has more global outreach to everyday, I don't know, like women, children, younger men? Definitely ABBA more so than KISS at this point, man.
Well, they set the tone with the whole thing too. Like
I'm not even an ABBA guy, but I have to be honest.
Are you sure you're not a dancing queen behind closed doors?
No, I'm more of an SOS guy. Let's be real.
Hey, David, did you watch last week's episode with Don
Uh,
Jameson?
oh yeah, it was really good. My question killed me. The Adler out the cake, hysterical.
Yeah, I was
That
just
was
wondering
awesome,
because,
yeah.
like, are you a dancing queen in the closet like Father
No, I'm
Rocco
not a
is?
sword swallower, brother. Not a sword
Here we
swallower.
go. You know, Dave, you could have forgot that part. You know?
That episode killed, guys. Too funny.
He's
Uh,
patting. That's an example of him patting himself on the back.
Why, yes, it is. Actually, anybody who should get patted on the back should be you.
But do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, not to make a crazy hot take on a Kiss
No, it's not
podcast,
out.
but
It's not
but
off. It's not an off the wall statement. I think it's. There's definitely validity there.
I
I
feel like
see.
my mom would go to that before she'd go to Kiss, guys.
I couldn't disagree more, and the only reason why is because visually, I think Kiss can do much more with avatars than ABBA can because of the costumes. They can change the costumes up, the backgrounds. Like, sky's the limit. I mean,
I think marketability would have a lot to do with it, though. Like I think I understand his point is that it's more of an accepted music, like all around. You know what I mean? Kiss is a
well,
specific genre of music too. You know,
it's popular music. I mean,
that's what I mean. That's yeah.
yeah, I get that part, but I agree with the first thing that David said. Like, I think that's as a whole for Kiss going into the future. I think the avatars are really gonna lead the way because they're forever. Like, they're gonna. I understand business wise. Like, even if and I don't think this is probably not going to happen now, but there was talk in the last couple years that they would put people in their positions and the band would keep going. Well, even if you do that, at some point those people are going to get old and not be able to do it anymore. An avatar, well, technology is only going to get better, and an avatar isn't going to age. They're not going to age out.
No, I like the
Kiss
concept.
is going to be in their prime forever in the Avatar world. And I think, although I don't knock the fans that don't like it, I'm a fan that I'm okay with it. I mean, I don't know that I'm going to fly to Vegas just to see an Avatar show, but if they did another Kiss Cruise Landlocked and we were going and the Avatar show was up, yeah, I mean, we already talked about this, that would be number one on my to-do list. And if they ever travel with it or put one in New York, yeah, I'd go. I mean, you know, they got to be reasonable with the price. Like, I'm not going to spend $1,000 to watch Avatars, but I'd spend $100 or $200 on a
Oh, I'm
ticket.
going. I'm going.
No, yeah,
That wasn't
yeah.
up for debate.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, you think about futuristic technology and with the way that they're billing it as. I mean, the Sphere was freaking incredible. I thought that was like amazing. So if it's anything remotely like to that and like futuristic and with technologies, I think it'd be really wild to see.
Victor, do you have an opinion on this?
Yeah, so a few things. ABBA has sold a shitload more records than Kiss has. ABBA has sold close to 400 million albums, where Kiss has sold a little over 100.
My man. My man.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
so they,
Yeah, Dave, if you didn't know, Victor always brings it.
My
Okay,
man.
ABBA is a lot more popular than I thought they were.
yeah,
I couldn't put it into
Okay.
words. Thank you, Victor.
yeah.
So now you have to wear a tutu and dance the Dancing Queen.
Who, Victor?
No, you.
No, not me. We leave that kind of stuff to you.
So, and the other thing that they take into consideration, ABBA, much like Kiss, with every album had like a different image. So, I don't know if they've incorporated that into into that show. When we did go to London, I did throw that out there to my wife. I was interested to go to see it just because I wanted to see, what that was going to look like, because they have a venue set up specifically for their avatars, and thinking, okay, how's this going to work for KISS? So I wanted to see exactly, what the correlation was going to be. And the tickets aren't ridiculously expensive. I mean, they're seated seats are, I think I just read, 38 pounds. So that's like $60, somewhere around
Oh,
there.
that's not bad at all.
And the floor area, which is all standing, is 50 pounds. So that's somewhere between like 75 to $80 per ticket. And I think that's why they get a lot of people to go as well, because it's not an expensive ticket. If you're doing this, and if you want to go by what Paul's been trying to sell for years, if they want to appeal to the casual fan, to the casino fan, who, if they're comped to go see this show, it can't be $500 a ticket. It's got to be similar to this. It's got to be less than 100. If you want to pack that consistently. And the other thing too, the thing that has always annoyed me about Paul, who's always said, well, we don't do too many deep cuts because they're deep cuts because they're not hits, and only 2 people want to see those shows. I hate to break it to them, but if the reason they got as many people to go this year to that event in Vegas is because they hadn't done something in what, a year, 2 years?
2 years.
Something
2
like
years.
that. 2 years. Okay. If they continue to do the same show, it's going to continue to go downhill for them. I don't know if they're seriously going to do a cruise again, if they're going to continue to go to Vegas, or what they intend on doing every year, or maybe every so many years. But unless they switch stuff up, people eventually are going to die off, or say, you know what? I'm not spending all the money that I spent last year or 2 years ago to see the same exact show with Paul having an even worse voice than what he has today.
I gotta tell you, I thought, and David, by all means, I thought Paul's voice was, it wasn't spectacular,
It wasn't as in the
but
heyday,
it
but it was
was,
good. It was,
but it was good.
It was
Okay.
an almost
And
80-year-old man killing it, brother. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
I don't
For
know
what
whether
it is now.
I don't know whether it just doesn't come through on YouTube, but it was very good. Like, can he scream? No, he cannot
he
scream.
picks his spots where he actually
But-
goes a little extra.
But do we
He
need
sang-
that anymore?
Not
No.
really.
Honestly,
No.
not at all. It was still good without it.
I
In
was
fact, right before the show, I know you didn't watch the episode. Right before the show, I said to him, I said, "Look, we're getting a chance to see them again. I know Paul's not going to sound that good." I was really expecting to be not be disappointed. I was expecting to accept what he was going to give, and I was like, "Wow, he sounds good." So I think the rest
Right.
probably helped him. I think
Yeah.
he was very strategic. I think they did a lot of rehearsing. They did a lot of rehearsing before the show.
yeah
I'm into he
they
sounds like Bob Dylan, period.
Huh?
Until it's over, I'm in.
Oh yeah.
He sounds good to me. It doesn't
No,
matter.
he sounded good. He
I-
surprised me.
I mean, I saw him twice on the End of the Road tour, and it was bad. It was really bad. Like, even with backing tracks, it was bad. This Vegas was 100 times better than that. I think part of that was the songs that he can't sing. He just doesn't sing anymore.
Right.
They did go with a few deep cuts, which was great, and they picked deep cuts that he can sing, which is even better. Like, it's about doing things the smart way instead of doing them the way you think that the casual fan wants it done. I mean, if you're going to Vegas for an event like that, you are probably not a casual KISS fan. Right. You are a diehard Kiss fan.
Absolutely.
So you want to play deep cuts? That's where to do it because that's really all we're interested in. I
Right.
mean, I have this thing that I think that they should close every show to Rock and Roll All Night. I don't care how old they are. I don't care where it is. That should be the show closer. But other than that, I'm pretty open to I don't need to hear Love Gun again, Lick It Up. I don't need to hear these songs. I was made for loving you. I don't need to hear them again. I'd much prefer to hear. I much prefer what the Handsome Devils did, what Bruce Kulick's band did. They were the stars.
They were definitely the star. Handsome
Oh,
Devils
yeah.
was fantastic.
Casada, whew, buddy.
Yeah, I mean
Absolutely.
they were both the stars of that entire event, and musicianship is a lot of it.
Hmm.
But second to that is song choices. Like they chose songs that we've never heard live. Never.
Another important thing to note, Vic, they had mentioned, and I don't know where it's going to go, but they had like hinted, or Paul had hinted at new music for the avatars. Didn't he
Right.
say he said something, and I don't know what that means. Like he
No,
said
that's
something
what that
about, like,
means.
he doesn't write if there's no projects, and he said something like there's a project going on, or he said he's writing now. So that means that something along the lines of that. So
Wasn't there
hopefully,
a tie-in with AI with that
I think
statement too,
so.
though?
Yes,
Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
where I'm a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I kind of
Well,
agree with you
that
there.
I was going to bring that up too. Like, how do you guys feel about an AI kiss? Like, is that going too far?
Yeah, I think so.
Uh, Classic 76 was so good. I know that's not AI, but if it could churn out a bunch of that, the potential there is kind of interesting.
I mean,
Soulless, but still kind of interesting.
I mean that's kind of where I draw the line. Like, I have no issue with the avatars. I think the avatars are like a middle of the road plan. Like if it's a choice between Kiss touring the world constantly in their late 70s and 80s and sounding terrible, or replacing them with stand-ins, the avatars are somewhere in the middle, and I can live with that. Because I don't really want, like, I still think, especially after Vegas, I still think a once a month residency in Vegas is not out of the question for Kiss. I think it draws people to the avatars, it draws people to the museum. I think if they keep the the Kiss event in Vegas, I think they're going to keep it in Vegas or they should, at least until the avatars, the first year of the avatars. Like, try to push that 27 to like March or April of 27, and then do Kiss Cruise Landlocked in Vegas in October and November of 27. And if you sell 4,000 tickets, you're going to get 3,500 of those people are going to go to the Kiss avatars the day before the event starts or the day after. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that I can't be the only person that would fly all the way to Vegas and say, we have to go to see the avatars. Look, we went to the Kiss World Museum in mini golf. Dave, did you go?
I went the first time I went to Vegas. It's a really cool experience.
It
It
is.
is. It's a cool enough experience that next time I'm in Vegas, I'll go back again. Like
Always
I'll go
notice
again.
something different. Yeah,
Right.
it's really cool like that. It's always something different. I feel like they changed some stuff out because it's always different when I go.
So if they do a residency in Vegas, or if the avatars, like, people are going to go out and they're going to go to all of this stuff. So I think it's possible that you see Kiss do a once a month residency somewhere in Vegas just to keep people going to Vegas, keep people interested. I think the worst thing that they could do is put that Kiss cruise back on a boat, and everybody's going to forget about Vegas, and I think it's going to hurt them, and it's going to hurt the brand.
The problem is, and
Almost as much as Gene Simmons just did.
there's the problem is, and I'm you know where I stand. I want the landlocked too, but there are so many like loyal people that have gone on all these cruises that swear by the cruises too. So there's going to be pushback on that people don't want to go on a cruise.
I
So
actually want to do
that's
the cruise more.
yeah. I mean,
100%.
I've never been on one, and it's kind of like a fear. But I already told them. I said if they do a cruise, I'd want to go again, regardless. I would probably bite the bullet for that to do it.
I'm
Listen,
sure.
guys, I got the other thing. I got to get going. But it's good seeing you, Dave and Vic. The last thing I just wanted to say is there's my alarm. The the last thing I'll say is that like they built up these brands, the Spaceman, the Demon, the Starchild, and the Catman, and it is bigger than them. So I do like that they want to continue keeping at least the brand of those four things to continue. And I like the kid thing with giving them some kind of experience to see what kind of that was at one point. So I do like that part of it.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
All right,
guys,
hooligans.
have a great holiday,
Take care.
guys.
Father
You as well.
Rocco's
Take care.
got to go to a choir concert, so he's sliding out the back door, jumping in the closet, putting his tutu on, and going. Bye.
Going sword swallowing.
Notice he didn't bring up the Ankh Warriors being a a staple like the other four.
Yeah, well,
Sacred.
he's another one that we could talk about for hours. So he kind of touched into a little bit into future music. What do you guys feel? Victor, did you watch everything that's available for the Kiss Cruise Landlocked?
I watched a bunch of things. I haven't watched everything. I mean, I focused more on the Bruce Kulick and Handsome Devils than I did the actual Kiss stuff because I especially Bruce has been doing this for years now, and I think they're lucky Bruce is doing this because he's giving fans what they want.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes what Kiss is doing kind of palatable because at the end of the day, you mentioned it. I mean, how many more times do we need to see Let Me Go Rock and Roll Live?
Never.
Or shout it out loud.
Never.
You know,
Never. But I'll listen to Sword and Stone.
but that's the whole thing. I mean, out of all of these albums that they've ever recorded, I'm not saying that, they gotta whip out When You Wish Upon a Star. But you're telling me they can't play Mr. Speed. You're telling me they can't play Come On and Love Me, Rock and Roll Hell. If Paul can't do some of the higher things that he sung earlier on, have Gene do some of the heavy lifting. Have Eric do some of, Peter stuff outside of
And let me tell you something, dude. Eric does a lot of heavy lifting in that band.
yeah, I know.
A lot. If you pay attention to when they were out there, especially the electric set, Eric's singing a lot, which is fine, which to me is better than a backing track.
Yeah.
And it still sounds good. It still sounds like Kiss. No, it does not sound like Kiss 1978. It does not sound like Kiss 1988, but it's not 1978, not 1988. No, they don't run around on the stage anymore, and that's okay. Like, I think in the case of Kiss, the majority of their and Victor, pay attention to what I'm about to say. The majority of their American fans have aged with them.
Mm-hmm.
I was blown away at how many Central and South American 20-year-old fans were in Las Vegas. Blown away. You did not see I didn't see any American 20-something-year-olds anywhere there, but I came across countless Central and South American 20-something-year-old fans on a constant basis. It's like it's ageless and timeless, it seems there. And here we're all growing old with them. So we
Right.
should all understand, like, you're not gonna get the 1988 Kiss because it's not 1988. So you go into that expecting some kind of limitations, and the limitations they had, at least for me, were all acceptable limitations. I don't
Mm.
need Paul Stanley to run around on stage and jump all over the place anymore. I don't need that. I'd love if he was able to do it, but I don't need him to do it. It's just like the song choices. I think we compiled one time. Kiss has over 250 songs total. So they got this whole big catalog to choose from. And if you're a diehard Kiss fan, you want the things that are at the bottom of the catalog. You
Yeah.
don't want, I mean, I don't want to hear Read My Body live, but for the other stuff, yeah, I'd love to hear Mr. Speed. Who was it? The Handsome Devils. I think the Handsome Devils played Dark Light. I
Yeah.
almost lost my mind.
Yeah.
And it
Last
wasn't
year,
even
Crazy.
yeah,
yeah.
last year they did Creatures and the Elder. They did Creatures one night and they did the Elder another night.
Yeah, like that's great. That was the highlight. I mean, the highlight of that entire weekend was the Handsome Devils. And I'm not Ace Frehley's band, the Handsome Devils, and Bruce Kulick's band. But the reason for that, in the case of the Handsome Devils and Bruce Kulick, was because of the song choice.
Yeah.
Like when Sword and Stone came on, like I almost lost my mind. And then it was really, really good. Like it was really good. Like it was recordable good. If somebody would record that, I would buy that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that's
don't
how
know.
good it was.
I don't know why he hasn't taken that out on tour. I don't know if it's because of licensing the songs or what the story is. And listen, he doesn't have to go out and do 50 shows. He can do 10 shows in like 10 major cities and he'll pack any venue that he plays because again, he's giving people the songs that they want. And you've seen Gene. I mean, Gene has done some deep cuts. One of my biggest gripes with Ace towards the end is that he played too many Kiss songs.
Yes.
You know, he had I've had Into the Night come on in the last 2 months like 30 times on random. And I keep thinking of you because of your love for that song and just thinking, why is it that he only played Rock Soldiers? Give me a break. His solo catalog is so good. I'm not saying that everything is a home run, but you take all 9 albums and you've got a set list where diehards are going to go check him out playing that stuff, and it seems like after the last reunion, he just kind of did Kiss songs. And
He
I
did too many of them.
he did too many. And I get
Yeah.
it. He had Scott Coogan with him who could do Paul's voice relatively well. The newer band with all the Nashville musicians, they could pull a lot of the stuff off as well, obviously. But it sucks that they didn't do more, but hey.
Hey, look, I was gonna go. Ace played in Allentown, PA,
Right.
last summer, and I was gonna go, and I looked at what he was putting out on the set list, and I said, "Nah, I'll wait till next year." And I wish I didn't, but that's the reason why I chose not to see Ace this year because it's pretty much the same set list that he's had for I don't 15 years at least.
If
And
not more.
and if
Yeah.
he would have thrown Into the Night or Dark Light into the set list, one song, if he would have thrown one song in like that, I would have went.
If he would have done, Parasite or Strange Ways, which he used to do live,
Sure.
because those are songs that he wrote,
Hmm.
you know. So that to me makes sense. But like you're saying, Love Gun, Why are you doing Love Gun?
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, you put this record out, and look, it's a taste thing, and I understand that, but I like 10,000 volts. How can you? I just don't see the point of you put the record out. It's good. It sounds good to me, and then you play maybe one song off the record, and it's not 10,000 volts, which in my opinion is the best song off the record.
Yeah, catchiest
Easily.
by far.
But play 10,000 volts, play Cherry Medicine. I think he really liked Cherry Medicine.
Really
Yeah.
liked Jerry Medicine.
And that's okay. I think that's part of getting to and this counts for all of them. I think part of getting to their age and still being out there is being able to do somewhat what you want to do. So if you like Cherry Medicine, play it, but we want to hear 10,000 volts. So pull Love Gun out, put 10,000 volts in, pull something else out, and well, I'm going to be me and say Into the Night, which he literally, I don't know what, David, I don't know whether you know this or not, but I've done like extensive research on this. He's done like Into the Night live like 3 times and had never done it live since like 1987. And I can't understand why. Like, it's
Either.
the
It's a great
song that brought him back. So that's the first video. That's the first single. I must have called Eddie Trunk 10 times in different years asking him, why doesn't Ace play this song live? And he would tell me every time, oh, I got to ask him. I got to ask him. And then we started this podcast. And it's funny because I said to Father Rocco, we are going to do everything we can to get Ace Frehley on this podcast. I just have one question I have to ask. Why don't you play it? Like, can you not sing it? Like, even if it wasn't on camera, like, is it because you can't sing it? Is it because you don't like the song? Like, I need to know that. And I never got the chance. And now I'll never get an answer.
I'm guessing it was just a licensing thing because it's a Russ Ballard song. And it's just a case of him not wanting to pay to perform the song.
Yeah, but he plays New York Groove every song, and they got to license that from Russ Ballard.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
true. But that song's made him so much money that, he's.
I don't know. I mean,
one of his signature songs.
The business part, I guess, of this is what bothers me sometimes. There was talk about Kiss ran conventions. Like, where do you guys stand on that? Would you be interested in Kiss conventions? And would you be interested more in them if they were fan-run conventions or if they were Kiss-sponsored conventions?
Honestly, if you could just do what we saw that Thursday night in select areas, I think you got something there. I think that band brings it on another level than anything that the band like Kiss is going to give us at this point.
Oh, the Handsome Devils? Or
oh, for sure, dude.
Oh,
I would go see them if there was a small convention and they were the headliner at the end. I think that's totally worth the money.
I think the Handsome Devils could go tour and could do small clubs and stuff, and I think they would be perfectly fine and they would be able to do it. I do. I think, I mean, nobody's going to put an album out because nobody can make money off of it. But if the Handsome Devils put an album out covering Kiss songs, I'd buy it. I'd buy it in a second.
Doing that.
Yeah, Quarantine was another one. They were great. I thought if I was gonna put things in order, Quarantine would be right after the Handsome Devils and Bruce Kulick's band. And I don't know which one's number one out of the two of them, but they're 1 and 2, and Quarantine would be third. And I think the only difference, the real draw for me with Quarantine was Jericho just looks like he's having so much fun out there. Like, you have to have fun watching him. So I was gonna go see Quarantine. They just played here 2 nights in a row. They played in Teaneck and they played in Reading, Pennsylvania, and I
Wow.
wasn't able to go to either of them. But I wish
Oh
if
man,
I could have, I would have. I would have went and saw them
definitely.
again 2 weeks later.
Oh yeah, they bring it,
Victor?
dude. They're a great band.
Yeah, it depends how they do the convention. You know, when I was in the States this past summer, we went to the New Jersey, was the punk rock flea market, it's called, and it was music merch, and it was, geek merch and tattoos and stuff like that. My biggest concern for there to be a Kiss convention, especially like it was back in the day, is that I think the market has shifted a lot. Like the last conventions that I went to, they're still selling VHSs. There's still, there are certain things that are still um, connected with Kiss that you could trade or you could buy and sell and stuff like that. And I don't know that in 2025, if that same market is available, because all the bootlegs are, for the most part, you could find all that stuff
Yeah.
online. Um,
We went to Chiller
okay.
in Parsippany, the
Yeah.
Chiller Theater Expo thing, and it was like movies and music, and they were actually selling VHS tapes, DVDs, and that kind of stuff. But it more got into the other physical formats, T-shirts, posters, that kind of stuff. So it's and let me tell you something. At Chiller, it was alive and well because it was packed. But they had a wider
Yeah.
array of people from movies, from TV shows, musicians, that kind of stuff. But
Well,
personally, I'd like to see the fan run conventions come back to be regional. I'm cool with Kiss doing a once a year thing in Vegas. I would definitely go back. I think if there's a cruise, I would probably go on the cruise, but I also think that they could travel yearly and do like, maybe one in LA, one in Vegas, one in Chicago, one in New York, one year, next year, and year after. I just think it makes the most business sense to me for Kiss to make sure they have a convention or an event of some kind in Vegas in 2027 to roll out the avatars. That's why I think at the end of the day, you're going to get Kiss Cruise landlocked in Vegas 26, and I think you're going to get Kiss Cruise landlocked in Vegas 27. Although, and David will agree with this, Paul Stanley must have said it 5 separate times.
You guys want a boat? You
Yeah.
guys want a boat? You guys
He
want a boat?
wants a cruise. He wants a cruise. Like he made it very obvious. It was at least 5 times in 5 different settings that he talked about getting on a cruise ship. I just don't see how it makes any sense. Like you are turning Las Vegas into Kiss headquarters pretty much. Like just leave it there and do that.
Yeah,
Because
the
we'll all get
logistics
used
of
to
the boat.
it.
Yeah, the logistics of the boat have to be extremely expensive as well. I mean, unless they're getting a sick amount of money that we don't know about for doing the cruise. I mean, I got to think that they're taking more money home from Vegas than they are from being on a cruise. Then again, I don't know. What are the tax implications there? Maybe because the cruise isn't on land, and maybe because it's, registered in Panama or some shit like that, they're not paying taxes for whatever money they're making off the cruise.
Definitely
Uh,
a possibility.
you know, my biggest concern is is his voice. If they do it once a year, and this is something that I've said for the longest time, they should have cut back on the shows that they were doing a long time ago, just to preserve his voice. And they're one of those bands that they could have played 5 dates a year, and the minimum ticket could have been $2,000, and they would have sold all the tickets. They could have made all the money back that they weren't making for touring 100 days a year in 10 dates, because the diehards are going to pay a shitload of money to see them.
Now, I think voice wise, he's good to go. I think he could definitely do. Well, he can definitely do once a year. I think it's a waste. I think he can do once a month. I think he might be able to pull off a once a week thing. Now, I don't think they want to do once a week. And I think, Vegas is the place for residencies. It's, what is it? A 20-minute, 30-minute flight from Los Angeles to Vegas. I mean, it just makes all the sense in the world to me. But the Sphere, a residency in the Sphere also makes all the sense in the world. And Paul killed it right off the bat and said he wasn't interested in that. That's about the screen and not about the actual band, which I disagree, but, whatever. I think it's probably too close to like what's going to be at the Avatar. And I think that's probably why they don't want to play the Sphere. But a residency, like let's say at the Virgin, a once a month residency, and then they do Kiss Cruise Landlocked at the Virgin in October and November every year. I think there's definitely a possibility of that. I don't think that's crazy at all. And then you just for your residency, you just bring different people in. Like, once in a while you bring Bruce up there. Once in a while, let's bring Vinny out. Why not? I mean, Vinny's allegedly got music coming out. It's an imminent Christmas release.
Yeah, he's been
Vinny's love
releasing
mixtapes.
He's been releasing music since when?
Yeah, well, but this one's imminent. I mean, Vinny says it's imminent, and he's gonna handwrite on all the CDs. Which is going to make them
now.
Yeah, exactly. Which is going to make them collector's items. He thinks. I can't wait to see what price he wants for it, if it ever happens.
He's like Oprah Winfrey, and you're getting a box set, and you're getting a box set, and you're getting a box set.
Yeah, he's like a lot of things. But if you put Vinny out on stage, as crazy as it sounds, more people will come. They will come. More diehard Kiss fans will make the trek to Vegas to see Kiss play with Vinny.
The problem is he can't play anymore.
Well,
right.
The footage is there when he played with Ace and with Bruce at Creatures Fest a few years ago. He didn't play any solos. And I've heard things through the grapevine about him with his $500 ticket shows that he does in Nashville, that he'll be playing the guitar, and he's playing the guitar as he's welcoming people into the venue. And then once everybody's there, he stops playing guitar because he wants to save the good stuff for when the album comes out.
We just put something out on our podcast in the last couple of weeks where I was just begging people, please don't send Vinny your money. Please, like, he's trying to sell this CD. Please don't send them your money. Like, let somebody else be the sucker and then say, like, it's real. And then if you want to send your money, I'm not going to send mine. But if you want to send your money, you should send it. But don't be the first, because I have a bad feeling that CD is never going to see the light of day. you know?
Well, theoretically, his newest music is the stuff are those Warrior demos that came out, and even that, was a copy of bootlegs that were out there. Then they got better better sounding stuff from someone that a lot of people know in the Kiss realm. And even after that, they've re-released that stuff a bunch of times. Well, I guess maybe even the stuff that they released on Creatures is the newest stuff in that Creatures box set. And shit, if we want to talk about the future of the band, I mean, I can't afford all these box sets that they're putting out, but I applaud them for doing this and hope that more is on the way. I mean, I think that it's cool what they did with Alive, but I think that they need to put out a box set with like one album per tour, one live show per tour where you can hear, all the various different songs that they played along the way. You'd get all the different,
I think that's a pretty cool idea, actually.
Yeah. I mean, some of it they've already released. You're not going to get another Mark St. John show because there isn't another one available. So that's the one you get. All right. But, you get all the various tours throughout the 80s where they're playing new stuff or stuff in the 70s that they only played on one tour or that they dabbled with on tour and never made it on, Destroyer, for example. There's stuff out there. So
I think from what we heard in various Q&As at the Landlocked event, I think you're going to see at least one box set a year going forward. And it seemed to me like it's going to mark the 50th anniversary. So whatever is next, so 76, well, it would be Destroyer, and they already did that.
Already done that twice.
So I don't know what they would do. 77. So the one after that, would be Rock and Roll Over.
Yeah.
And that may be the next box set that you see is Rock and Roll Over. That's the way it sounded to me. I don't know, Dave. Did you go to them Q&As?
No, I totally. That seems to be the mission going forward is the box sets and the big collections. But honestly,
Yeah.
I want to see him do something like what Ted Nugent has going on, the Nuge Vault. Do you guys know about that?
No.
Oh.
Dude, he has an online subscription service where they upload like old shows and stuff. It's amazing. If Kiss
Really?
can do that and we have the material to do so, I waited all weekend for someone to ask about this if they have the material to do it. I think that's the future, especially to keep diehards in. If you could give us like quarterly new shows through like some kind of subscription service, I think everybody would want that.
I think they have the material. There's no doubt in my mind they have the material. They have it, video and audio for it. It's just a matter of, and we can't lose sight of this. It's not up to them anymore. I mean, I do believe they have an opinion, but Pop House is the boss.
Yeah.
So, and nobody can get their hands on the contract, which I'd love to get my hands on to see how that contract reads. I would love to get my hands on that.
How many lies we were told publicly.
I don't even need to know the numbers. I just want to know how much control do they have? How much say do they have? Because if I'm Pop House, I'm not paying that kind of money to be told by Paul Stanley, you're doing it wrong. We're not doing it like that. And at least with Landlocked in Vegas, it does seem like that happened.
Yeah, they changed the name.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, Paul and Gene took it over with. And look, it wasn't sold out, but it was close. If sold out was 4,000 people, and I heard that sold out was 4,000 people, I bet you there was better than 3,500, maybe even better than 3,700 that were actually there. So that's pretty good for the first year in Vegas. And I would expect that if they went back to Vegas next year and they made the right moves and changed some things around, I would venture to guess next year would be sold out without a doubt. And without them doing anything like crazy or over the top, like without, bringing out new music and debuting it at the KISS event, like that kind of stuff. You bring Bruce Kulick's band back. You bring I would bring the Handsome Devils back, and they would not be in the pre-party. They would be in the actual event, and I would give them.
I wrote
front
that in my
and center.
survey.
Yeah,
I
did
put that
too.
in the survey. They
I
should
did
be
too.
involved 100%.
I mean, that's how good they were. Like, so.
Yeah, would you be willing to trade off having Bruce and the Handsome Devils as part of the regular show and have KISS themselves play less songs?
Less songs? Yeah, I'll do you one better. I don't know about you, but I could take or leave the acoustic set.
I was gonna say the same thing. I would have gave that up for that.
Yeah. If you give me Bruce's band and the Handsome Devils, as far as I'm concerned, KISS can play once on Saturday night, an electric set, and I'm good. I would be okay with that.
Yeah,
And I'll go as far as bring Ace Frehley's band back and have them play again, because I think that they did an amazing job. Jeremy Asbrock stepped in to play Ace's role and killed it. Ryan Spencer Cook was the de facto like lead man and did a fantastic job. I got to tell
Really
you
worked the crowd.
that my two all-stars, well, I should say my three all-stars of the weekend was Zach Throne singing Gene songs on Thursday night, Joe McGinnis singing Gene songs with Bruce Kulick's band, and Louis Khalil, who played guitar for the Handsome Devils. He's by far my first star. He was in a world of his own that Thursday night. He really was
Incredible.
there's just no words to explain. Louis Khalil was the cross between Vinny and Ace with class and common sense. Did everything note for note, just like the KISS fans wanted it, but added twists onto it, but didn't take anything away. It was pretty amazing to watch and listen to. And it came from Thursday night. Wasn't even a KISS sponsored event. KISS Cancer Goodbye. I told these guys from KISS Cancer Goodbye, I will make an effort to go to anything that they ever do in the future just because of what they did that night. It was run so perfect. They had control of everything, and they put out a very, very good product. Arguably better than KISS did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, that's not to say anything bad about what KISS did, but it was that Thursday night thing was all KISS. I just don't know that I don't know that I was that excited for Sebastian Bach or that excited for Quiet Riot, just because, like, I get it, but what's Quiet Riot got to do with KISS? Nothing. What's Sebastian Bach?
No, Rudy was awesome. Rudy was awesome.
They were great, but if you had a choice between Quiet Riot and the Handsome Devils, who would you pick?
Oh, easily Handsome Devils, for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you got three bands. You essentially have two bands playing on Thursday night that could have definitely slid in there Friday, Saturday, Sunday and played. And my next tier would have been Black and Blue, because Black and Blue was great Sunday night. They were fantastic Sunday night. And they have that direct link to KISS that Quiet Riot doesn't have, that Sebastian Bach doesn't have. And you could tell it with the crowd. Like you could tell with the crowd, if it had a link to Kiss, they were much more interested in it. Although they put Black and Blue in the wrong spot and they killed them because after Bruce Kulick's band came off the stage, if there were 3,000 people in that arena, 2,500 of them left. And there was only 500 of us watching Black and Blue. And I'm not kidding at all.
No,
Like
truth, 100%.
they were trying to push
Crazy.
everybody to go downstairs because there was nobody down there. Like there was 500 people in a 4,000 seat arena, maybe. There was 500 people in there, and you could absolutely see there was like I don't know why you would put Black and Blue as last. Like you killed them.
Kiss was on after them.
No, that
No,
was
they
it.
closed the weekend.
Bruce Kulick's band played first, and then Black and Blue came on.
Yeah, that
and-
doesn't make sense because Bruce Bruce has been doing this, like I said, 3-4 years now. People know more or less what to expect from that band, even though he's switching songs up. What was the big appeal of Black and Blue? Tommy playing with them again?
Well, the big appeal of Black and Blue was they sounded very good.
Yeah.
They did a great show, arguably the most choreographed show of any band that played. They sounded really good, but you set them up. Whoever put them in that slot set them up to fail because
that does make sense.
you know I walked out. I went out and went and got dinner, and then came back because you could do that. Because I was like, yo, it's just Black and Blue. Like I'm not. I know that what is it? Hold on to 18. I knew it was going to be the last song. It has to be. So as soon as Black and Blue came up, I watched like one or two songs and I looked over at him and said, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. And I went to eat and I came back and then I caught, I don't know, maybe the last 5 songs and Tommy Thayer got up there and it was cool to watch, but it was a shame to see, 80% of the people were gone already. It was a shame because a lot of people missed a good show.
Did Tommy look like a butler with them, or did they let him dress in a t-shirt and something more, rock than just a good old button-down shirt
With who?
with Black and Blue?
He was in a button-down shirt, I believe.
Christ.
I believe he was.
It kills me. It kills me to see, bands go up there like that. The first band to do that really killed me was Megadeth, where Dave Mustaine had them all wear white button-down shirts and black slacks. I'm like, are they fucking waiters, or are they members of a thrash band where you want to be interested in, the dangerous aspects of rock or whatever, as opposed to, would you like some more water, sir? I don't get how.
I do have to admit this though, and
His little golf polo.
I thought it was very cool and entertaining after, 30 some years to see Kiss walk out there without the costumes and without the makeup.
Right.
And without all the bombs and the fire and all of that. That was cool. I mean, the stage show, I was shocked at how good it was because it was very good. But it was kind of cool to see them normal. It was. I don't know why. I mean, the last time I saw Kiss without makeup on, they were running all over the place. There was things exploding. There's all these things going on. No, that Saturday Night Electric show, they walked out on stage. They did the thing that they said that they always hated, and I was okay with it. They walked out in jeans, and I think they were all wearing button-down shirts except for Eric, and they just played. And you know what? It was cool. It was good. It was different. It was a change.
Yeah.
I was getting tired. This like sounds blasphemous, but I was getting tired of the makeup and the costumes. And I think part of that was again because Eric and Tommy were in the costumes. But it was nice to see the four of them walk out there, no makeup, no costumes, and I absolutely loved the show. Loved Tommy, loved him. I loved him to death. I thought he was great because he wasn't wearing Ace's makeup. He was Tommy Thayer.
Right.
And that was great. Eric was great. The whole band was great. They looked like they were having fun. They sounded good. They looked good. Vegas 2026, I'm in. Cruise ship 2026, totally. I may very well be in because of how good it was and how different it was.
Felt like the victory lap, like the best victory lap we're going to be able to get. Oh,
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
At this point, this is the best we're going to get, fellas. Enjoy it because Lord knows how much longer we have it.
Hey, if this is the best we can get, I'm pretty good with it. Once a year.
I am too. I wish we there at the end, not even them play.
Likelihood of Peter joining them after the Kennedy Honors if they do this again.
1%. If Peter didn't go this year to promote his album after what Gene said about Ace, I think on a personal level he won't go, and I think on a professional level he's gonna want to keep space between them and him. It will look to me, it will look bad on Peter if he forgets and forgives this last idiotic statement. Unless Gene's going to apologize. The fact that Peter didn't go to Vegas with an album coming out tells me Peter's not going to go to Vegas. And the Kennedy Center Honors thing probably made the chances worse instead of better. Because they just can't shut their mouth and let it go.
Have you guys read who played and what was played and all that stuff?
Yes, I did. I don't know if I did. I'm kind of waiting until it's televised. I heard that that Garth Brooks butchered "Shouted Out Loud," got the words wrong, and I heard that. I heard that Cheap Trick actually butchered "Rock and Roll All Night" and also got the words wrong. And I don't know how you get the words wrong to "Rock and Roll All Night." There's only like 6 words in the entire song. But
after seeing the Back to the Beginning show with Nuno and the people that they put together for those tributes that they did on that show, I was thinking that we were getting something along those lines when I was reading Bruce's post today and seeing Garth Brooks "Shout It Out Loud" and Cheap Trick "Rock and Roll All Night. I'm thinking that like really deflated everything for me because the kind of the precedent of everything, and we've talked about it on this show already, was the Wilson sisters doing "Stairway to Heaven," which was fantastic.
Oh,
but I
arguably better than Led Zeppelin's version.
Right.
I mean,
but I can't think of Garth Brooks.
If you're going to bring Garth Brooks out there, "Hard Luck Woman" would have been the safe
we've
thing.
Seen that already. He's already done that with them. So
right.
I mean,
but that would have been safe. I don't know what Garth Brooks playing "Shout It Out Loud" is gonna sound like.
There are 1,000,001 musicians that got their start thanks to KISS influencing them.
Marcus King played too. He did Beth.
Can I ask you guys a question? Who the hell is Marcus King, and why do I not know?
Oh, dude, he's great. Well, he's from South Carolina. That's why I know who he is primarily. But he's like a blues guitarist. He's actually pretty good.
All right, I never heard of him.
Look him up. He's a little soul singer dude. Dude, it
I'll
was
have
pretty
to
good.
do that. Thank you both, Victor and David, for coming to hang out, well, with the Hooligans until it was with the Hooligan. And I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you guys back here in the future.
Anytime, anytime. Just let me know. I enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you guys.
Victor, thank you for staying up late for us. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. And if you just found us, check out our past episodes. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel and you like this episode, please consider hitting the like button, just like that guy right there, and leaving us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, just like that guy right there, so you don't miss any future episodes, and check out these episodes right here. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for supporting us, and don't forget, we should all lead with love and take care of each other. Peace out, Hooligan Nation.